So moving to the next, section of this lecture. In this section, I'm gonna talk about like chicken breeds and just give you an overview. This is gonna be a very general overview. Let's remember that there are hundreds of chicken breeds, and a breed refers to an established bird group of species that has similar body shape and similar morphological characteristics. They can be divided for the production of table eggs, production of meat, dual purposes, or some then even have an ornamental purpose. So here we can see the Cornish, and the skin color of the Cornish is yellow, the egg color is going to be brown, and the Cornish originated in England. Some of the characteristics of the Cornish is that they were developed as the ultimate meat birds. They have a really excellent carcass characteristics. Indeed, the Cornish has contributed the genes to build the vast broiler industry of the world. They are really good for muscle development and breast meat yield. Now let's move on. We have the white leghorns. The skin color is yellow, the color is white, and the origin is Italy. So they were initially called Italians, but by around 1860s, the breed was known as Leghorn, which is the traditional Anglicization of Livorno, Italy. Some of the characteristics of these birds are good foragers and can often collect much of their diets from ranging over fields. These birds are also capable to fly and often roost in trees if given the opportunity, and they are the most numerous breed. The next breed that I will discuss is the Rhode Island Red. The skin color is going to be yellow, the egg color brown, and the origin was New England. The Rhode Island Red originated in the New England states of Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Some of the characteristics of this breed, they are dual purpose, they are good for egg production, and they are also good for meat production. And they are likely the best egg layers of the dual purpose breed. And Rhode Island Reds have been used in the creation of modern hybrid breeds. We also have the New Hampshire. The standard weights are going to be between 2.5 kilograms to 3.8 kilograms. They are used for meat production. Their origin was Massachusetts and New Hampshire. And some of the characteristics of these breeds is that they pose a deep, broad body, grow feathers rapidly, and they are prone to go broody, and they can be good mothers. The feather color is a medium to light red, which often fades in the sunshine. We also have the Plymouth Rocks. The skin color is yellow, the color is brown, and the origin is America. Some of the characteristics of this breed, they are docile, deep full breast, have a single comb of moderate size, and then they are very popular breeds. And this is one of the America's oldest breeds. Prior to 1950s, it was the main source of chicken meats and eggs in the US. The white Langshan is likely one of the oldest chicken breeds in the world. The skin color is white, as you can see in the picture. The color is brown, and they were originated in China. Some of the characteristics are long tails, long legs, and some of these, due to the long tails and the long legs, they are primarily for exhibition, but they also can be good mothers. The next breed is going to be the light Brahmas. In early 1900s, the chicken record a weight of 13 to 14 pounds for hens and 17 to 18 pounds for roosters. So as you can see, they are fairly good sized birds. The skin color is yellow, the egg color is brown, and the origin is they originated in China. Some of the characteristics of these breeds are they are large, gentle in nature, well feathered. So as you can see in the picture, a lot of feathers so they can withstand cold temperatures, and they are fairly good mothers. So many hybrids of chickens have been developed by the modern poultry industry. Hybrid chicks are crossbred from pure breds such as Cornish, Leghorn, Rhode Island, etc. Modern broilers are cross-bred of Plymouth Rock and Cornish. White egg layers are hybrids of Leghorn, while brown egg layers are hybrids of Rhode Island. And there are also some recreational breeds and hybrids, such as the Mediterranean, the Asiatic, Continental, American, and the Bantams. Here you can see a picture of a commercial layer farm. You can see that in each one of the cages there might be 5 to 8 layers depending on the size of the cage. It is important to mention that some commercial layers they are gonna be cage free. They are gonna be in an aviary, and also there are some markets where they are also producing free range commercial layers, and in this case the layers are also going to have access to the outdoors. If we compare white egg layers with brown egg layers, the white egg layers are going to be lightweight. The average weight is going to be around 1.65 kilograms, and the average annual production is going to be around 320 eggs with an average weight of 62 grams, and they will be consuming around 100 grams of feed per day. In the other hand, the brown egg layers are going to be 15 to 30% heavier, and they are going to produce less eggs than the white egg layings. So this is the reason why when you go to the supermarket, you're going to realize that the brown eggs are more expensive. Egg production is going to start around 20 weeks and is going to reach the peak around 26 to 28 weeks. Then the production rate is going to start decreasing, but the egg weight is going to increase. These are just some examples of common egg type strains. We have the Isa, Babcock, Bowens, Highline, etc. Here you can see a picture of a broiler farm, and as you can see here, this house is a completely environmental control. There are no curtains, but there are heaters, and then there is a ventilation and cooling system to make sure that the birds are comfortable, and then that the birds are maintained in the thermoneutral zone. I'm going to discuss more about like this in other slides or in other presentations, but it's important to keep all those birds comfortable. That way they can use more of the nutrients from the feed to growth, and also they can reach market weights faster. So broiler chickens have had like a rapid growth rate. This is through genetic selection. If you look like a rose male 708, is if the average weight at day 1 is 40 grams, at 35 days the average weight is going to be 2,330 grams. So you can see that it's going to be 58 times the initial body weight. And again, this has been due to genetic improvement, better nutrition, better management of the conditions in the broiler farms. We understand better the health and how we can keep those birds healthy. So there are a lot of different factors that have helped to be able to reach this efficiency. These are some common meat type strains. We have Cobb, Ross, Indian River, Hubbard, etc. You can read the different meat type strains later. I am not sure, but likely you have asked yourself or to others one of the or this following question: why do chickens in poultry farms have white feathers? So let's remember that we are going to have meat type strains and egg type strains. In the meat type strains, in the last decades, white plumage has become essential for the efficient processing of broilers and most type of meat type poultry. A slaughterhouse and a meat processing plant require poultry with white or very light down color to produce carcasses without the typical hair which a color chicken are gonna have. In the other hand, the egg type strain, it will look like the leghorns, since white egg layers are developed from white leghorns. They already have white feathers. However, as you are aware, there are other commercial layers that don't have white colors. So basically, the white color is very important for meat type strains, but is not as important for egg type strains. As observed in this slide, a typical modern broiler breeding program can be represented as a pyramid, with each level representing a generation. In the left, you can see the approximate numbers of chickens produced in each generation. And in the right is the approximate timeline to move the genetics from top of the broiler pyramids, in this case the pedigree, to the commercial broiler, which is the broiler that is going to be sold to the final customer. Pedigree birds are kept in farms with a high biosecurity. Eggs are going to be hatched in a special pedigree hatchery, and the progeny goes into the great grandparents or GGPs and grandparents generation. In the GGP, there are 4 crossbreeding, in which A and B are purebreds in the male line, and C and D are purebreds in the female line. Males are typically selected for weight gain, carcass composition, and feed efficiency, while females are also going to be selected for other traits such as reproductive performance. However, as you can observe, it takes 5 generations or more to pass a trait down from the pedigree to the commercial broiler. Chick sexing has been practiced by large commercial hatcheries over the years to separate female chicks from male chicks. In the egg industry, the sexing of day-old chicks is determined at the hatchery. Females can be debeaked using an infrared equipment or at the farm after 7 days. And then pullets are grown to around 16 weeks and then are moved to the egg laying facility. In the commercial layer industry, males are euthanized because they cannot lay eggs and their characteristics are not suitable for meat production. There are several methods used to determine the sex of day-old chicks. Some of the methods are only effective with certain breed crosses, while others are more universal. The two main methods for sexing are band sexing and auto sexing, which includes color and feather sexing. Band sexing is practical for all chicks, but it needs an experienced person. In color sexing, the sex link silver or gold gene is used to sex newly hatched chicks. As you can see in the pictures, the females have a darker color. With this method, chicks can be sexed with little or no training because, as you can see in the picture, females are going to be darker and the males are going to be lighter. Feather sexing is commercially used in the US, and for feather sexing, a rapid feathering male is crossed with a slow feathering female. The resulting males will be a slow feathering, while the females are going to be rapid feathering. As a result, the males have wing feathers that are relatively shorter than those of the females. Some training is required to develop accuracy and speed in sexing on the basis of wing feather length. However, the amount of training is considerably less than the required for band sexing. So when I was doing my PhD in North Carolina State, we were doing, feather sexing all the time, and it doesn't take a lot of time to learn. And when we looked, like the birds at the farm after, like let's say 4 weeks, then we did a really good job feather sexing, and we had a lot of students, some that had like experience and other were less experienced. But feather sexing is fairly easy to do. Let's remember that the modern poultry production is based on a high broiler growth performance within a limited period of time, and at the same time obtain as many eggs from the parent stock as possible. These two don't seem to easily match, and this is considered, is considered a paradox between reproduction and growth. The modern broiler breeders are not able to self-regulate their feed intake to meet the energy requirements and maintain an energy balance. As a consequence, feeding must be limited in these birds to prevent overconsumption and excessive overfeeding during the production cycle. Indeed, during the rearing phase, feed allocation should be restricted to around one-third of the intake of ad libitum fed birds. So here we can see, the broiler breeder paradox, and we want like, different objectives. So in broilers, the objective is high broiler growth, um, good feed efficiency, and a high breast meat yield. And in the breeders, we want to obtain as many eggs from the parent stock as possible. So both objectives don't seem to match easily. However, an adequate and precise management of the breeder flock, as well as good incubation practices, can help to reach both objectives. So just almost finishing up here, now I'm gonna discuss different poultry farm types. And as you can see, in the pyramids, we have the breeder farm that produces eggs for hatching, and here we have the primary breeder, and then these are the objective of the primary breeders is to breed birds whose offsprings are used also as breeding birds. These include the pedigree, great grandparents, and grandparent flocks. Then, as you can see there, like in the fourth level down the pyramids, we have the multiplier, and the objectives here is breeding birds whose offsprings are used as production birds, which are going to be like at the bottom of the pyramids. Then in the production farm, the production farm is going to produce the final product for human consumption. And here we can have broiler farms, and they produce chickens for meats. Table egg farms, they produce eggs for human consumption. Then we have the turkey grower farm, and then they produce turkeys for meat. We also have the brooder farm that raises young turkeys that will be placed on turkey grower farms. And then we also have the pullet farm that raises young female birds that will be placed in laying farms. A pullet farm doesn't have adult breeding hens. So in summary for this presentation, many different breeds of chicken have been developed for different purposes. A strain is any bird of a particular breed developed by a breeder by introducing certain desired characteristics. The modern poultry farming is very efficient, and it provides affordable and nutritious meats and eggs for human consumption. Chicken is the most consumed protein in the world, and chicken production is more sustainable than ever. Thank you very much, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you might have.